Alright, welcome to RezoBiz. This is episode 13 of the HotRod series. This week's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to actually have some child rearing tips for you. Oh yeah, and we'll have my least favorite things to do on a dobro. We'll have getting back into my favorite things. We'll drill some holes for some neck bolts, and we'll be working on the neck a little bit, and then we'll get the back on it, bring you right up to the brink of just getting ready to put the die on it, and we'll go from there. I'm Byrl with Byrl Guitars, and welcome to RezoBiz, where everything is greater with a resonator. Okay, so today I can title this video How to Discipline Your Kids. If you have children who've done something wrong and you want to teach them not to do that again, there's lots of ways parents through the years have disciplined their kids, spanking them, grounding them, burying them under the apple tree in the backyard. Of course, that one's kind of permanent. But there's also this one. I've said, here's my favorite things that I like to do. Here is the absolute, I don't like it in the least bit. Guitar building work that you have to do. I don't like the noise. I don't know. I just don't like it. So anyhow, if you have children and you want to teach them not to do something again, make them come out and do what I'm getting ready to do right here on this guitar, and have a whole bunch of them ready. Make them do it, and that they might think, well, I don't think I ever want to do whatever I did. Throwing rocks at little Johnny, or setting firecrackers in the frogs, or whatever it is children come up with that they do that you don't want them to do. Make them level the rims on a guitar. That's what I would say. Actually, I've never actually made my kids do that or do this. I have got my son to do it, to teach him to work. It is work, and it's the way that I do it. This part's work. I don't mind work, but I've tried to sand these down before, slam wear myself out in my arms. So I'm learning different ways to make it quicker. But anyhow, least favorite part, because of work, because of the noise. It sounds horrible. I woke people up that are in the house, upstairs, and far away because of the crazy noises these things can make. They sound like a turkey call to me, but you thought the rims sounded funny, or the rims when I was doing the sides the first time. And I do them individually before you glue them to the top. That's easy. That's no problem. But doing them both together, it's work. And then the box makes it echo. And so it's 5:30 in the morning, 5:15 in the morning. I'm probably going to wake the neighbors up with this one. Good thing I live in the country. Alright, an air hose and a grinder. These are not usually, I think, luthier tools. I don't think you find these in the luthier supply store. But I was a car restoration, hot rod builder, auto body guy way before I did guitars. So this carries over from my car working days. I have some grinding to do. Oh, okay. Coffee break. Arms are sore. Oh yeah. You know which one of my kids got in trouble all the time. They have arms this big. Good. That's a leveled rim. Now the next step is what I've been dying to get to. Now we're back into some more of my favorite parts. When I was a painter, on cars, I would tape them up to do the paint job, and the most exciting part was to untape it. Always, probably it still is. I could not wait to untape everything that I had done. Some of my taping got real elaborate for artwork and stuff. This is like the taping. Once I put all the clamps on, get this thing glued to the back, I love to take it off and then clean off the excess around the edges and see what it's going to look like. Now I'm just going to mark all the bracing for exactly where it's got to meet up with the sides. And I do not, the way the bracing goes into the sides or doesn't go into the sides, there's a lot of, maybe not a lot, there is reasoning behind it, and there is, people make decisions on whether they're going to bring the bracing into the kerfing or not. Most guitar builders, regular acoustic guitar builders I've seen do that. They notch into the kerfing with their. I don't do it on purpose. There's a reason. It's very small, but it's one of those things that all the small things add up. It goes along with, there's a thickness that all these are at, or real close. They're not exact, but there's a thickness I try to get the end of my braces to be, and there's a way that they meet up to the body, and all of it is for the function of this back. I do understand, and I do know that it does function a certain way. Exactly how much it adds to the tone, I don't know that one. It's just like the way I sand them down. How much difference does 400 grit make versus 320? My guess is not much. 400 grit versus 80 grit, my guess would be a lot. So anyhow, that's there. I guess I say that to say there's a reason behind the way I'm doing even these brace ends, and it's ready to go on now. There, you can hear it clicks in. That's what we're after right there. I could not have done that without the line. Glued up. Our back is on. And we'll squeeze out down here. That's to me is a good sign. But don't want it on the inside. I think we're looking good. Alright, we have this back on here. This thing is well, it came out really good as far as the way it glued up. The shape I look for when I see the back of it. Feels nice. Nice arch this way. Nice arch this way. It just came out well. So get ready to grind it on the, grind it. Flush cut it with the flush cut bit router, but it's got a nice sound to it. No chips in my go-go juice. That's a blessing. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I'm hearing a variety of tones. Oh, that's cool. A flame. Half a flame. I could have done that if I meant to. Huh. Wish I had two of those. Yeah, I hear the thud, and then there is a bell sound to it that you probably call it overtone. That resonates afterwards. It's interesting. I'd be interested to hear what this thing sounds like. The neck, this neck, and this was supposed to be the fretboard, but I have changed it. This is going to be the fretboard, and I'm doing brighter frets than what I was going to do. I am going to bind it where I wasn't going to do it before. I'm going to put curly maple binding on it. I guess it goes that way. And then I'm going to do a custom fretboard. So this fretboard will end up stained, and I could put a flame in it. No, I'm kidding. But anyhow, I changed that up. I knew I was working on it. I kept saying it, and so it's happening. When I get it'll end up with the same, well, so using the same colors as the flame I'm going to put on this. I'm going to put Starburst fretboard on it, so it'll all be black around the edges, and it'll go into the same color as the flame. And then I think what we'll do is put black fret dots in it. I think that's the direction we're going. And the logo, the Byrl logo, is going to be black ebony, and the Byrl part that's cut into it will be filled in with orange. And you say, well, why orange? You'll have to see how we're doing it. Alright, I'm drilling the holes in the neck. I've got it rigged up to a jig, I guess you'd call it, so that I can drill my holes straight and not lopsided. So I get a square on it, make sure it's square to the drill blade and the drill bit, and that's how we get those necks in there straight. I've prepped this in for the ingraft. I usually don't do an ingraft this big, but to get the pieces sides to work, they cut short, and so I knew I was going to put a big ingraft in it. But it doesn't matter as far as looks to me, because this all goes black, and there might be just a little bit I leave light or transparent right here, so you'll see some of that flame in this maple, but for the most part don't matter. So this will be, I got that epoxy I use for the neck. I'm going to use it right here too, and I'll glue that in. That's the next step, and then that'll be done with smooth it up. I've already sanded the body edges up a bit, so they're looking pretty clean, getting there anyhow. Alright, I've got my ingraft on here, and I'm going to trim off the excess a little bit here. efficient. Look at that. Pretty big ingraft looking thing, but again, it'll be okay because it gets all black. Except I might fade the black out solid and let it go transparent right about there so you see that flame a little bit. And it gets a you know, tail piece that goes all down it and everything else, so you don't see much of it, but you get a strap lock button there. But I've got a little flame there. We have our neck. I've got the fretboard glued on now. We're going to go ebony, and I changed it. Now it's got a flamed maple fretboard. It's got a real tight flame, real little in the, not fretboard, binding on the fretboard, and then a little bit of flame in the fretboard. It's got some spalting in it, and then we got our locust neck, head plates put on, got my tuner holes screwed in, and this is also flame maple. So we have a little bit of flame. Looks like there's something else, and I think I may end up doing a wooden palm rest and doing it in flame also. And right now it looks hodgepodge, kind of like a wreck, but you can't look at it the color that it is right now because it's getting ready to change a whole lot, and we are close. Right now I'm at the point where, in fact, this will be the first time since I had it glued up. There's the neck on it, and I measured it. And I was gonna show that in this video, but I got just working and not videoing. But before I put the fretboard on, I put the neck on it, tightened it, and I laid a ruler clear across it, and it laid straight across it all the way, nice and level. So the neck's this way, it's right. Then I set it on the center seam of the guitar where you book match these two pieces together, and ran it up, and it met clear up with the center of the neck. So we're good this way once it's tightened down. Right now it's not so good. So we've made a good bit of progress. Really the next step is we'll start dyeing this thing. But that's not true. I gotta finish sanding this and get it all finish sanded. I've got to round this edge so that it's not a hard edge, and I'll just use a round over bit for that. And then just the final sanding, and I think we're ready to start dyeing it. And then we'll get a coat of sealer on it, and then we'll be ready for flames. That'll be exciting. Alright, I've got it, all this sanded and prepped. I've sanded, I used a round over router on the edges, sanded it, and smoothed everything up. I think we're pretty well ready to go. Neck fits up nice. I've got it detailed, shaped, and it's ready to go. This is not finished out because we still have to do fret markers and all that stuff, but I'll end up taping this off before we get going too far. But what I wanted to show you here is concerning black locust. If you look at it, you'd say, well, I don't even know why they call it black, but the green, I mean the wood looks green, but I wish you could see it in the sun. But when you put a cleaner, not a cleaner, but a finish on it, if it was just to do clear, if I was just to put a lacquer on this, that thing would be beautiful. And if you were to use a dark, like a brown filler in that, to get in the grain lines, this would be gorgeous. This would make an absolute, and one day I will. I'm going to do it. But I just wanted to make a guitar out of it. But you can see why all that figure that's in it, that's why I'm going to go a transparent black. Because that is just gorgeous. Where I was going to do a solid black, entirely solid black guitar. Now I'm getting a little fancy with it. But you can see why, because that thing is just, it's just beautiful. Let's do a little bit on this side here. And you can see how the grain really pops. And I never knew it had the flame in it. The dark lines go dark, and the green lines go real dark. It's pretty wood. So if somebody's looking for something different, Black Locust has got a neat look to it. And it's just going to be, that could be just beautiful like it is. But I'm going black. So we're at the point now where I'm getting ready to start staining it. And well, I guess I'll catch you on the other side of it. It's going to be wild. Here we go. Alright, thank you for watching. Next week we'll be starting the dye. We'll start the custom painting and the finish, and hopefully get all that pretty well wrapped up in this last number 14 video. Thank you for sticking with us and watching if you've watched all of these, and hope you'll subscribe. If you haven't, hit the like button for this particular video, and then if you can, this is 2019 and the IBMA September show. At the end of September, we will be there. We'll have a booth. We'd love for you to come by and play this guitar. Just even if you don't plan on bidding on it, then I'm going to have an auction. And I don't know the technical term for it because I'm the builder. I'm not the tech person. But there's going to be a live feed auction. You can also email some bids, and then you put bids in at the IBMA show. Highest bidder wins. The starting bid will be about around $800 for that'll cover the cost of materials or hardware, and then who the highest bidder wins for that. This guitar is, if I was to build one, my HotRod series, they started around $4,000. So this is going to be a very nice guitar that more than, whatever you end up with, if it's around that price, you've got a fair price. If you get anything under it, you've got a super good price. So if you're interested, come by and play, or just put a bid on when we bid on it. I hope you'll tune in for the show. It'll be the end of September. I'll have more dates put online coming soon. Stick around for next week, episode 14, and we'll be doing the finish. Thank you for watching.